Hey everybody, this is Greg from Guardian with another shift briefing. One of the questions we've been getting recently on GuardianRFID.com is there value in the old-fashioned shift briefing? Should we still get together? What are some ways that we can still pass on that information but not be gathering in large groups? Well, let me tackle this one in pieces. First of all, is there value still in getting together in a group and passing on that information? Absolutely. Shift briefings are an invaluable part of making sure that the communication passes from one shift to the next. Historically, this has been one of the biggest concerns we have. One shift does it this way, another shift does it this way. And you know who uses that to their advantage? The inmates. They're always playing mom against dad, first shift against second shift, evening shift against night shift. So passing that information on from one shift to the next is invaluable. So even if you have a small facility, make sure you spend at least 5 or 10 minutes getting that information passed on to the next group of people taking over the facility. If you have a large facility, then it's even more important that we pass that information on. But a couple of things I want to point out. First and foremost, don't make your shift briefings about information that keeps getting passed on over and over again, like, remember, this Saturday, we're having a bake sale at 6. Okay, you pass it on 3 or 4 days in a row, people it just goes away and they'll never remember it. So make sure the information is relevant, first and foremost. Also, make sure it's important to the people who are in the room. So involve them. Have them say it back to you. Ask them to repeat it back. Make sure they get the information you passed on. Don't just drone on. Make sure they heard you and that they acknowledge that they received that information. But here's the question that we've been getting most recently, is how do we get that information together without gathering our troops together in a tight area because, we social distancing. We want to make sure that we're not too close. Hey, first of all, I want to point out, you've been working together in the same building now this whole time, so chances are good, guys are probably safe. But we want to take those precautions. So what are some options? Well, one is you can use a social media site like Slack, for instance. That is one of many sites that are out there that the shift supervisor can put information on and get it to everybody who's involved in that channel. Another option is voicemail. Have the facility put out a voicemail and everybody can call in and listen to it. So the shift supervisor gets there 30 minutes early, gets the information, puts a voicemail together, then you call in and get that voicemail. Yes, it can be done, and absolutely, those are pieces of information that should be passed on. This is a technological age, easy for me to say. So we want to use the technology available to us. So one way would be using voicemail, because we all have cell phones now, an answering service, something like that, Slack, a social media site, typing something up, posting it on your facility's emails if you have that, and ensuring everybody reads it by doing a read receipt so they know that they've read that information. Or still getting together, maybe just in a larger space, maybe even the parking lot where there's lots of space, 6 foot, 8 foot apart, and speak the information out. Any way you do it, whether it's old-fashioned but keeping the space, voicemail, printed out, Slack, all these options, they're all available to you, but absolutely the importance is still there in having a shift briefing, passing the information on. That's the most important piece, making sure that communication gets passed on. Thanks so much for listening. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us at support@guardianrfid.com. And as always, get your team home safe.